Part 59. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wangshi-san. Chapter 581. A flash of white light, the whole group, along with the Suanwuo, came to a valley. In the valley, there were many mottled pheasants called yuji, about half a yard tall, seemingly weak, but in fact, they were all level 200 royal beasts. In the middle of the many yuji, a larger and more colorful pheasant stood proudly like a crane among chickens. Guardian of the 12 zodiac signs Scud, Divine Beast. Level 200. HP, 2 trillion. Basic combat power, 3 billion. Maximum combat power, 300 billion. Skills, Charge, Speed, Slam, Trample. Bloodline skill, Scud. Background introduction. In ancient times, the participants in the ranking of the 12 zodiac signs race were relatively weak, and finally fought hard to get a place and awaken the Scud skill. Yang Tian was startled when the Eye of Truth swept over Scud. He originally thought that the later the divine beast, the stronger it was. But obviously, the strength of this flying leg is far inferior to that of the loyal dog, and even inferior to the last lucky pig. Ha ha ha, little guys, let's have a race. Damn, if it were now, I would definitely win the first place. The flying leg is about 2 yards tall, with bright fur, and looks extremely handsome. Run for your life, you are so short, I can kill you with a fart, Suanwuo said disdainfully. Huh. 2 balls of anger appeared in the eyes of the flying leg. He snorted and rushed out. Because of the speed, there was smoke and dust behind his butt. Charge. Strike. 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 In the blink of an eye, the flying leg had come to Suanwuo, and kept pecking at Suanwuo's face with his slender mouth. Suanwuo screamed in pain. But in fact, the fighting power of the flying leg was not high, and Suanwuo did not suffer much damage. On the contrary, the fierce attack of Fiamautui caused a shockwave that swept out in all directions. In the team, countless bodies fell instantly. In the end, only Yang Tian, Huangmao, Xiaofei, Longliu, Kanyu, Jueyu, and Suanwuo were left. Kanyu's 3 shields were put on Huangmao, Longliu, and Jueyu respectively, and Lang Liang was already dead at this time. Suanwuo's reaction was a step late, and he quickly turned on the protection of the divine turtle, but it didn't make much sense. Yang Tian and the other 6 were not afraid of the shockwave caused by Fiamautui, and they didn't need the protection of the divine turtle, and those who needed it were already dead. Focus on it, Huangmao roared. Forget it, this chicken is too weak, and our attributes have all increased by 30%. If we really focus on it, it will definitely kill it instantly. You should fight slowly by yourself, Yang Tian laughed. Huangmao nodded suddenly, and rushed over and bumped into Fiamautui. Because of the attribute enhancement obtained in the previous level and the enhanced combat power of the purple fighting spirit, his charge directly dealt more than 1 trillion damage. Scud wailed, and the health bar above his head dropped by more than half. Wow, am I too strong, or is it really too weak? Huangmao was stunned. He himself didn't believe the damage he dealt. You know, he hasn't summoned the dragon pet yet, otherwise the Dragon Knight's talent dragon riding, his attributes will be increased by 30%. Little bastard, if you dare, run with me. Scud obviously knew that he was not an opponent, and roared. Run, your sister. However, what it waited for was Huangmao's crazy spear. Scud was startled and quickly dodged. Immediately, a whirlwind emerged from each of its 2 claws, and it rushed in the opposite direction. The speed suddenly soared, like a dream, and everywhere it passed was full of colorful afterimages. It instantly distanced itself from Huangmao. This speed. Yang Tian and others were all shocked. Now the speed displayed by Fiamautui is more than 5 times faster than Huangmao. Huangmao can't catch up no matter what. A large-scale sweep of the army is also pulled away by the opponent, resulting in a big miss. Don't worry, this is its bloodline skill. Its speed can't always be so fast. The skill will always cool down. Looking at Huang Mao's frustrated look, Yang Tian reminded calmly. 1 minute passed. Fie Mao Tui's speed dropped sharply, but it was still more than twice as fast as Huang Mao's. Huang Mao still couldn't catch up. After calmly brewing, he used another sweep of the army to kill Fie Mao Tui. Damn, I'm exhausted, Huang Mao complained. Come on, just get the first kill, Yang Tian pouted and moved to Fie Mao Tui's body with everyone. The first kill of the divine beast must explode the bloodline. Everyone wants to see what the bloodline skill of this Fie Mao Tui bloodline is and why it is so fast. Speedy bloodline, Ziyiguang / consumable after use, the attributes are greatly increased, and the bloodline skill speedy is obtained. Speedy, instant, the movement speed is at 300% when it is turned on, lasts for 1 minute, and cools down for 10 minutes, the movement speed is at 100% when it is turned off. Movement speed at 100% means doubling, which is equivalent to doubling the movement speed. Movement speed at 300% means tripling, which is equivalent to quadrupling the movement speed. It is like purple fighting spirit, combat power at 700%, combat power increased 7 times, which is equivalent to 8 times the combat power. 100 add 100 * 7 equal 800. 100 * 8 equal 800. That's the reason. This bloodline. Xiao Fei's eyes lit up. His favorite attribute is speed, and the bloodline he wants most is the bloodline that increases speed. Although the blood of this flying scud is far inferior to the blood of the 8-winged angel, its speed is so fast that he is tempted. Unfortunately, it is useless for him to be tempted. He is already an angel, and this angel blood can never change. Xiao Fei and Qin Yu are both 8-winged angels, and their blood can never change. Long Lu and Qin Yu, they have already got the blood they like the most. Therefore, among the 6 people in the first team of the Water Alliance, only Yang Tian and Huang Mao need blood. And Yang Tian looked down on the blood of the flying scud, so he was assigned to the second team. Finally, Xiao Feng expressed his need, so the blood of the flying scud was assigned to Xiao Feng. But now he is dead and has become a corpse, so Yang Tian took it and kept it for him temporarily. The flying scud is dead, and Yang Tian and the other 6 people and Suan will continue to chase Yuji and soon get it done. 10 minutes later, Suan Wu's divine turtle guard cooled down again, and Yang Tian led the team to the next level. A flash of white light, everyone came to a peach forest. The peach forest was filled with fairy spirit. Many peach trees bore many palm-sized fairy peaches, most of which were ordinary ones, but when Yang Tian and his companions looked over, they saw a few tricolor fairy peaches. Fairy peach, consumable after eating, the upper limit of HP is increased by 10%, which lasts for 1 day. Tricolor spiritual peach, tricolor / consumable after eating, the upper limit of HP is permanently increased by 30%, which is invalid if eaten repeatedly. Squeak. There were many long-haired monkeys named Shenho on many peach trees. They seemed to be the guardians of the peach forest. They looked alert when Yang Tian and his companions invaded, and made a howl full of expulsion. Among the many Shen house, there was also a golden monkey. It held a fairy peach bigger than a basketball in its hand, and the fairy peach was shining with rosy clouds. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 582. Shen Monkey, Spiritual Beast. Level 200. HP, 20 billion. Basic Combat Strength, 5 million. Maximum Combat Power, 100 million. Skills, Claws, Leap. Bloodline Skill, Peach Smashing. Patron Saint of the 12 Zodiac Signs, Longevity Monkey, Mythical Animal. Level 200. HP, 5 trillion. Basic Combat Power, 5 billion. Maximum Combat Power, 500 billion. Skills, Claws, Leap. Bloodline skills, Copper Skin and Iron Bones, increase longevity. Background introduction: in ancient times, participants in the 12 zodiac races were ranked. Longevity Peach, Xiaoguang/consumable after consumption, the upper limit of HP will be permanently increased by 100%. Repeated consumption will be invalid, and it will cover the permanent increase effect of all other fairy peaches. Bone Spear. TP Bone Spear. Yang Tian instantly fired 2 bone spears in succession, striking through the air towards the longevity monkey. Copper Skin and Iron Bones. The longevity monkey's momentum shook, and his body suddenly lifted up, becoming stronger and greatly improving his defense. As a result, Yang Tian's 2 bone spears bombarded it without causing much damage. On the contrary, Yang Tian hit it with 2 bone spears, causing shockwaves to sweep out in all directions, inflicting tens of billions of damage to a Shen monkey 10 yards away from it, knocking out half of its health bar. You must know that the shockwave is only equivalent to the damage of a normal attack, and will also decrease with distance. Yang Tian's attack was equivalent to 2 normal attacks, knocking out half of a spiritual beast's life. This kind of combat power was already very terrifying. Seeing that Yang Tian had injured his little brother, Chang Shao Monkey's face flashed with anger, and he quickly smashed the Xiaodao in his hand onto the injured Shen monkey. Bang! A ray of starlight dispersed, and the Shen monkey, which had lost half of its blood, instantly regained its full blood volume. Holy crap! That Xiaodao was an item of Xiaoguang, and it's gone like this. Huang Mao, Xiaofei and the others were shocked, and their hearts were so painful that they were about to bleed. Don't panic, this longevity monkey has a bloodline skill that seems to increase blood. I think the longevity peach was just summoned by it, not the real longevity peach. Yang Tian explained and smiled slightly. I think if we kill this longevity monkey, a real longevity peach will be revealed. Huang Mao and others nodded and felt relieved. They all knew that Yang Tian had the eye of truth and could see things they couldn't see. You guys, come here and kill these intruders, the longevity monkey roared. Immediately, the screams of countless wild monkeys sounded in the peach forest, and countless wild monkeys were seen jumping down from various peach trees, hitting Yang Tian and others. Different from the previous 3 levels, the mob's Shen monkey in this 4th level are all level 200 spirit beasts. A group of spiritual beasts gathering fire should not be underestimated. Xian Tao is smashed. I saw countless Shenho directly using their only bloodline skills, each summoning countless fairy peaches, gathering fire like a heavy rain of fairy peach, and smashing it densely towards Yang Tian and others. Protected by the turtle. Suanhui roared, and instantly summoned the phantom of the divine turtle, which spread within 100 yards to cover Yang Tian and others. Bang, bang, bang. Countless fairy peaches hit the phantom of the divine turtle, causing damage and then disappearing. Those fairy peaches are obviously summoned by Shenho and are not real fairy peaches. As countless tiny injuries appeared, the blood bar on Suanhui's head was almost motionless. It would be extremely uncomfortable for Yang Tian, Huang Mao and others to withstand such concentrated fire, but Suanhui's body defense is too strong, greatly weakening Shenho's damage. Moreover, its HP is as high as 24 trillion, and it received a 30% increase in the loyal dog level. Its current HP is as high as over 30 trillion, so it doesn't matter if it takes a small amount of damage. Damn guy! Seeing that all the attacks of his younger brothers were blocked by Suanhui, the longevity monkey roared angrily and took action himself. It's a pity that it can't cause much damage to Suanhui. To gather fire, all you need to do is gather fire to the longevity monkey. Yang Tian gave the order and everyone gathered fire. The longevity monkey's copper skin and iron bone buff was still there, so it was difficult for everyone to deal high damage. Instead, the shock wave caused by the continuous concentrated fire continued to cause damage to the surrounding monkeys. After a while, all Shenho died, and a total of about 10 copies of Shenhe Bloodline were revealed, as well as about a dozen 3-color Spirit Peach and a large number of ordinary Fairy Peaches. For monsters above spiritual beasts, their blood will explode if they are killed first, but the explosion rate is not high if they are not killed first. And obviously, there are many monkeys in this peach forest, so Yang Tian and others can gain so much. Seeing that all his younger brothers died, the longevity monkey became even more angry and no longer cared about his own life safety, so he attacked the turtle phantom without thinking. Of course, even if it attacks Yang Tian and others in the phantom of the turtle, it is equivalent to attacking the phantom of the turtle, and all attacks will be borne by Suan Wu. Powerful mountains and forests. Yang Tian quietly activated a buff, and the damage increased tenfold. Under the crazy focus of fire, the longevity monkey's health bar plummeted. This powerful mountain forest is one of the bloodline skills of the White Tiger bloodline. It increases the damage 10 times, lasts for 1 minute, and has a 10-minute cooldown. This effect is not as good as the dragon transformation, but fortunately it will not cause weakness. Therefore, Yang Tianhui will use Shenlong transformation as a trump card and will not use it easily, but this Megatron mountain forest can be used at will. Under the frenzied firepower of the 6 Yang Tian people, the longevity monkey quickly lost its health, and was finally taken away by Huang Mao. With the death of the longevity monkey, a bunch of items exploded. Among them, apart from the bloodline that must be exploded for the first kill, a longevity peach really exploded. Longevity monkey bloodline, Xiaoguang/consumables after use, the attributes are greatly increased, and the bloodline skills Copper Skin and Iron Bones and increase lifespan are obtained. Copper Skin and Iron Bones, instant, reduces the damage received by oneself by 10 times, lasts for 1 minute, and cools down for 10 minutes. Increase lifespan, instant, summons a longevity peach, eats it to restore 50% of HP, and smashes it to other targets to restore 50% of the target's HP. Cooldown time is 1 minute. This longevity monkey has 2 bloodline skills, 1 defense and 1 blood. Yang Tian has no need, and Huang Mao has even less need. Huang Mao only needs dragon bloodline, and it is a powerful dragon bloodline. Yang Tian has already picked a candidate for this bloodline, and it is Xian Ji. Xian Ji is a priest, and a hidden professional holy priest. If he can guarantee his own survival rate, it will undoubtedly be more terrifying. Although Lan Mao is also a nurse, Xian Ji is the main force of the team. Although he has no intention to participate, his strength is unquestionable. He is an enhanced version of an enhanced version of an enhanced version of Blue Cat. His awareness, reaction, operation, positioning, and even mentality are several levels higher than the latter. After all, there is a big difference between having talent and not having talent in playing games. Sometimes hard work alone cannot make up for it. If Yang Tian cannot find a suitable 7th person in the last half month, he can only force Xian Ji to join. As for the longevity peach, Yang Tian has no need for it. His current HP, after the increase when he was promoted to the Human King, is only 360 million. Even if he becomes a god, his HP is estimated to be only 2 or 3 trillion, and doubling it is only 5 trillion, which is not very meaningful. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 583. If Long Lu becomes a god, his HP will start at least 8 trillion and double to at least 16 trillion. Thinking of this, Yang Tian already felt weight in his heart. But at this moment, Boss, I want to eat that peach, Suan Wu shouted excitedly. Yang Tian was startled. It is true that Suan Wu's current HP is as high as 24 trillion, and if he eats longevity peach, his HP will be as high as 49 trillion. Moreover, Suanwu has not yet reached the full level, and it still has room for improvement. After it reaches level 200, its HP will reach 25 trillion, which doubles to 50 trillion. Long Lu, what do you say? Yang Tian looked at Long Lu with some embarrassment. After all, no matter how strong Suanwu was, he was just his battle pet. It is a bit luxurious to allocate such an important resource like longevity peach to a battle pet. I'm fine. Suanwu is indeed better than me, and his team contribution is higher than mine. Long Lu smiled casually. When a team challenges a copy, the team system will rank each member's contribution value. There is no ranking for battle pets or NPC servants, and their contributions will be accumulated on their masters. But whether Suanwu's contribution is high or not, Long Lu can naturally tell. Well, then this longevity peach will go to Suanwu first. Long Lu, you can wait until next time. Yang Tian patted Long Lu on the shoulder. Yeah, Long Lu nodded. This copy of 12 Zodiac Paradise will be refreshed once a month after being cleared, and you can continue to challenge it in the future. Although it is not the first kill, the chance of the longevity monkey exploding the longevity peach is extremely low, but there is still a chance, right? Seeing that the boss had assigned the peach to himself, Suanwu rushed over and swept the longevity peach into his belly with a single sweep of his long tongue. Its movements are so fast and violent, as if it is afraid that someone will compete with it, which is quite funny. Seeing this, Yang Tian opened his mouth helplessly, wanting to say something, but it was already too late. If Suanwu reaches level 200 and then eats the longevity peach, he can obviously increase his life limit by 1 trillion. Boss, if you have resources, use them as soon as possible. If it takes too long, you may not be able to achieve the best results. As if he knew what Yang Tian was thinking, Suanwu smacked his mouth and said with a satisfied smile. Yang Tian nodded and said no more. He was a conservative and Suanwu was a radical. You can't say who is right or wrong, because each has its own advantages and disadvantages. Pick all the peaches on the tree, whether they are 3-color spiritual peaches or ordinary fairy peaches, don't waste them. Yang Tian smiled, and the 6 of them went their separate ways. About 2 hours later, all the peaches in this peach forest were picked by Yang Tian and others. But there are still mostly ordinary fairy peaches, and the 3-color spiritual peach, counting the ones exploded by Shenho-kun before, there are only more than 20 in total. Each of the 6 Yang Tian people received one, and Juyu also had a share. Yang Tian temporarily kept the remaining 3-color spiritual peaches. After all, the only ones who survived in the copy now were the 6 of them and Suanwu. Yang Tian could only wait until he exited the copy before he could continue the distribution. Each of the 6 people got a 3-color spiritual peach. Xiaofei Kainu ate it directly, and the HP limit increased by 30%, both exceeding the 2 trillion mark. As for the 4 Yang Tian Huangmalang Liujajade, they all saved them and planned to eat them after becoming gods. After all, their current HP is too low, and it would be too bad to consume it now, and repeated consumption of the 3-color spiritual peach is ineffective, so this cannot be messed with. Hey, we caught the thief. At this time, Huang Mao suddenly laughed. Everyone was startled and followed Huang Mao's gaze. I saw Jueu quietly cleaning up the trophies. She didn't want anything else. After a while, she took away several copies of Shenho's blood. Everyone looked at Qin Yu, and the meaning was self-evident: take care of your sister. Qin Yu just laughed, looking embarrassed. What are you doing? I have killed many Shen monkeys, so I have a share. Humph, maybe these Shen monkeys' bloodline was revealed by my killing of Shen monkeys. Jueu's face turned red when someone discovered him, and she argued. Everyone smiled and gave Qin Yu face, but didn't really take it seriously. After all, Shenho's bloodline is extremely rubbish. Not to mention Yang Tian, Huang Mao, and others, not even anyone in the team can look down upon him. But Jueu is a demon. In her opinion, No matter how rubbish the bloodline is, it is precious dark energy. Yang Tian and others passed the 5th and 6th levels easily. The attributes of Qin Yang in the 5th level and Pegasus in the 6th level are not strong. Their bloodline skills increase movement speed, but they are not as good as the Scud in the 3rd level. Qin Yang and Pegasus are just ordinary mythical beasts with ordinary bloodlines. From these two levels, Yang Tian and others did not gain much. Chuiyu, on the other hand, received several portions of Moyang's bloodline and Wuma's bloodline in succession, smiling from ear to ear. The ordinary monsters in the first 3 levels, the pig, the dog, and the chicken are all just level 200 imperial beasts. The ordinary monsters in levels 4 to 6, such as Shen Monkey, Mo Sheep, and Wu Horse, are all level 200 spirit beasts. The 7th level. In a flash of white light, the 6 Yangtians and Suanwu came to a swamp. The swamp was roughly dyed purple, filled with purple venom and had a disgusting stench. The swamp is also filled with purple poisonous snakes called Si snakes, and they are all level 200 fairy beasts. And just above the swamp, there was a giant snake with black wings growing out of its back, standing upright in the air, looking down coldly at the invading Yangtian and others. The giant snake has a huge head. Generally, snakes like to lie horizontally, and occasionally coiled, but the giant snake is special. It likes to lie vertically, so it is not easy to describe it with length, and height is more appropriate. The giant snake is about 10 yards tall, with an extremely thick upper body, wings on its back, and an extremely thin lower body. Overall, it is quite majestic and attractive, at least much better looking than the average slender venomous snake. Yes, it is the Teng snake. Yang Tian also has a Teng snake, and the two are exactly the same. It's just that the Teng snake in front of him is a 200 level divine beast, while Yang Tian's Teng snake is a 198 level sacred beast, and is far inferior to the former in terms of level and bloodline. Of course. Although the divine beast Teng snake is stronger than the sacred beast Teng snake, there is no doubt about it. But the divine beast Teng snake is just an ordinary divine beast, far from being comparable to the Suanwu, and Yang Tian Suanwu is not an ordinary Suanwu, its HP is about twice that of an ordinary Suanwu. Roar. Seeing Teng Shi staring at him, Suanwu also roared provocatively. Little ones, come on. Teng Shi was obviously afraid of Suanwu, but as a boss, he had a group of younger brothers around him, so he sent his younger brothers to attack first. Puff puff. As soon as Teng Shi finished speaking, countless snakes flew out of the swamp, each opening their mouths to spray purple venom and attacking Yang Tian and other invaders. Roar. Suanwu roared and instantly summoned the phantom of the divine turtle, which spread over a radius of 100 yards and covered Yang Tian and the other 6 people as well as Teng Shi and Sishi. Of course, this divine turtle cover will only protect friendly forces, not enemies. Puff puff puff. Inside the cover, the attacks of countless snakes were all borne by Suanwu. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 584. The attribute enhancement from the loyal dog level is still there, and Suanwu is now extremely powerful. After enduring the concentrated fire of countless fairy beasts, he only lost tens of billions of blood. And Suanwu's HP is as high as 49 trillion, plus the enhancement from the loyal dog level, now HP is as high as 63 trillion, under this level of concentrated fire damage, it doesn't lose much blood at all. The attack of Si snake has a certain chance to poison the enemy. Although Suanwu is a divine beast with extremely high poison resistance, it is now poisoned by so many Si snakes, and blood is falling from the top of the head, about 300,000 per second. Poisoning is the most special one among many negative states, because if it is not solved, it will exist forever. Even if the player goes offline, it will still be poisoned after going online. But Suanwu's HP is as high as 63 trillion, and blood loss is 300,000 per second. Even if it loses blood for a day and a night, it can't be lost. Tang Snake is not strong, and everyone dares not to focus on it, so Huang Mao fights alone. Sweeping the army. The damage is deepened. Huang Mao swept his gun, causing Tang Snake to lose more than 200 billion HP. Yang Tian added more damage, causing Tang Snake to lose more than 2 trillion HP, and in an instant, Tang Snake was reduced to residual HP. Finally, Huang Mao rushed forward and killed Tang Snake in 2 or 3 moves, but it was not the first kill, and even the blood did not burst out. This undoubtedly once again proved the ordinary level of Tang Snake. Fortunately, although it was not the first kill, Huang Mao killed Tang Snake, and his completion of the promotion to the Human King also increased by 1%. A few minutes later, Yang Tian and the other 6 people and Suan Wu quickly slaughtered Si Snake, exploding more than a dozen Si Snake blood and some other items. Zhu Yu's little hand trembled, and she got a few more. This Si Snake blood is the blood of immortal beasts. After the devil swallows it, it can be converted into millions of dark energy, which is equivalent to swallowing 10 blood of spirit beasts, or 10 spirit essences. Zhuyu was only a few million dark energy away from being promoted to an 8-winged demon. She was not greedy and only took a few each time. According to her, this was what she deserved. If she continued to be so lucky, she would soon be promoted to an 8-winged demon. As a 6-winged demon, her hard power must be very strong, but it was difficult for her to find precious resources such as spirit beasts. And following Yang Tian and the others, she was simply eating and drinking spicy food, and she was even a little reluctant to go back. After cleaning up all the spoils, all members rested for 10 minutes to restore their peak state, and all skills were cooled down. Strong men above the Saint King, in non-combat state, restore P per second. Xiaofei Kainu is an 8-winged angel, in non-combat state, restore 10% of HP and MP per second. The team rested for 10 minutes, mainly to refresh skills. Anyway, there was no rush now. And because of the poisoning, Suan Wu always maintained an attacking state, and HP and MP could not be restored. But this is not a big problem. After all, Suan Wu has too much HP, and he won't lose much HP even if he is poisoned. The 8th level. The scene changes. Yang Tian and the other 6 people and Suan Wu come to a vast ocean. At this time, several people are standing on the sea. Above the sky, a group of dragons are flying, and on the sea surface, a series of slender black shadows with bared fangs and claws are reflected. Yang Tian looked up and found 11 original dragons. Among them is a golden dragon beast, and 10 Chen dragon beasts. Guardian of the 12 zodiac signs, golden dragon, divine beast. Level 200. HP, 12 trillion. Basic combat power, 12 billion. Maximum combat power, 1.2 trillion. Skills, Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, Dragon God Dive, Meteor Bomb. Special skill, Calling the Wind and Rain. Bloodline skill, Dragon Transformation, Dragon Physique. Background introduction. In ancient times, participants in the 12 zodiac signs race ranking were not ranked high because they rushed to bring rain to the wasteland. Yang Tian used the Eye of Truth to scan the attributes of the golden dragon. This golden dragon is a 3-clawed golden dragon, a first-level divine beast. Its attributes are almost identical to those of the azure dragon, and it is also at the top of the pyramid among the first-level divine beasts. Roar Suan Wu did not dare to underestimate the golden dragon, and immediately activated the divine turtle protection. And the golden dragon also gave face and handed over the divine dragon transformation, and its body suddenly increased in size, and its divine power was awe-inspiring. Evil suppressing magic array. Weakness. Yang Tian casts spells continuously, causing the golden dragon's attributes to drop by 19% continuously. It is indeed 19%, that's right. The effects of the evil suppressing magic array and weakness are not cumulative, but decreasing. Assuming that the Golden Dragon has 100 attributes, the evil suppressing magic array reduces 10%, and the Golden Dragon still has 90 attributes. Weakness is reduced by 10% again, and the Golden Dragon still has 81 attributes. So the Golden Dragon's attributes dropped by 19%, not 20%. If it is a repeated reduction, it will be too terrifying. If there are more such weakening skills, the enemy's attributes can be reduced to 0. However, this kind of thing cannot happen if it is a decreasing one. Undercurrent. When the Golden Dragon is in the state of a divine dragon, its movement speed is extremely terrifying. Yang Tian once again triggers the undercurrent and reduces the Golden Dragon's movement speed by 30% again. At this time, the Golden Dragon is weakened by 43% in total in terms of movement speed alone. Focus, Yang Tian roared. The two sides fought each other. 2 minutes later, the Golden Dragon showed defeat. After all, Suanwu held up Qinglong at the beginning. Now Suanwu's HP has doubled and its attributes have skyrocketed by 30%, which is naturally more terrifying. Ang. The Golden Dragon did not want to fight. Seeing that he was no match for the opponent, he dived into the seabed and disappeared without a trace. The evil suppression array and weakness can only last for 10 seconds, so they naturally disappeared long ago. The Golden Dragon moves very fast. If Yang Tian can't catch up with it, the undercurrent will have no effect. After all, the undercurrent also has a range limit. Don't panic, look for it slowly. Yang Tian himself has the blood of the dragon, so he is naturally very clear about the disadvantages of the dragon transformation. Calculating the time, the Golden Dragon is about to fall into weakness. This kind of weakness is far from comparable to Yang Tian's weakness skill, and the attribute directly drops by 80%. Instantly weak as a dog. This is also the reason why Yang Tian does not use the dragon transformation until the critical moment. Yang Tian and the other 6 dived into the seabed separately to look for the Golden Dragon. Although this 8th level is an ocean map, it is not huge. Yang Tian and others soon found a weak Golden Dragon somewhere on the seabed, and finally Huang Mao easily harvested it. It's not the first kill, Tang Snake is fine, but I didn't expect that the Golden Dragon didn't have the first kill. It seems that there are really a few strong people overseas. Huang Mao suddenly sighed. Everyone was stunned. This Golden Dragon is not the first kill, which means that someone has killed other Golden Dragons. The Golden Dragon is very powerful, so the player who can kill it must be a top-notch warrior. Of course, it could also be a team attack, which is hard to say. The Golden Dragon was not killed for the first time, and the Golden Dragon bloodline did not drop out. The Golden Dragon is a divine dragon, and the Golden Dragon bloodline is the divine dragon bloodline. However, although the Golden Dragon did not drop out its bloodline, it did drop out a skill book. Call the Wind and Rain, Stunt Instant, can call the Wind and Rain. In Taixu, there are many different levels of skills. Ordinary professional skills, hidden professional skills, equipment additional skills, bloodline skills, and special skills. Special skills are the rarest, and are generally not limited to professions, which means that most special skills can be learned by all players. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 585. Yang Tian is lucky, he has 2 special skills, Skeleton Manufacturing, Eye of Truth. These 2 special skills have their own uses. And this Calling the Wind and Rain, except for Calling the Wind and Rain, it is a bit pretentious, it has no other use. This undoubtedly proves that not all special skills are powerful, there are also rubbish special skills. Seeing that everyone is not very interested in this special skill, Yang Tian clapped his hands and learned it directly. Boss Golden Dragon fell. The other 10 Chen dragons also fell in the battle. Except for the first one that exploded the Chen dragon bloodline, the other 9 did not explode the bloodline. After all, compared with the monsters in other levels, the number of Chen dragons is too small. And Chen dragon is also a proto-dragon, its bloodline is very precious. After a person swallows it and adds a divine body, it will evolve into the bloodline of the divine dragon. The Chen dragon bloodline was taken away by Juyu again. Seeing that she was about to throw it into her mouth, everyone was sweating and hurriedly stopped her. "What are you doing?" Juyu was a little unhappy. "Hee, sister, I know this is what you deserve, but this blood is special, so I will exchange one Si snake blood with you." Yang Tian had the expression of an uncle who was trying to deceive a little girl. 2. Juyu grinned. Hiss. "Oh my god, it turns out that this girl has an IQ online," Huang Mao Xiaofei and others shouted exaggeratedly. Juyu was proud. She was just simple, not really stupid. And she was able to get to where she is today, and obviously she also understood the game very well. She saw the extraordinary blood of Chen Long at a glance, so she naturally acted and tricked 2 fairy beast blood from Yang Tian. And she was a demon, and she swallowed blood regardless of strength, only quality. 1 fairy beast blood, exchanged for 2 fairy beast blood. Big profit. After this battle, Suan Wu lost 1/3 of his blood. Because of the poisoning, it is always in an attacking state, and HP cannot be automatically restored. However, it also has a life resuscitation, which can restore 50% of its own HP, and the cooldown is only 1 minute. After all members rested for 10 minutes, Suan Wu's life resuscitation filled up the health bar, and Yang Tian led the team to continue to the next level. The 9th and 10th levels were successfully passed. The current Suan Wu is too strong. Unless it is a 2nd level beast, the 1st level beast can't beat it at all. And Suan Wu only needs to release the divine turtle to protect it, and Yang Tian and others can output without thinking. To crack this combination, the enemy must be either strong enough to crush Suan Wu, or hold on for 1 minute under the concentrated fire of Yang Tian and others, and wait until the divine turtle and the beast disappear before there is a chance. And obviously, there are very few such enemies. In the 9th level, Huang Mao killed the boss Cunning Rabbit for the first time, and the Cunning Rabbit bloodline was exploded. In the 10th level, Huang Mao killed the boss Winged Tiger for the first time, and the Winged Tiger bloodline was exploded. Cunning Rabbit bloodline, Xiaoguang/consumables after use, the attributes are greatly increased, and the bloodline skill Cunning Rabbit 3 cheat is obtained. 3 tricks of the Cunning Rabbit, instant, up to 3 consecutive clones can be used within 10 seconds, offsetting 3 damages, with a cooldown of 1 minute. Winged Tiger bloodline, Xiaoguang/consumable after use, the attributes are greatly increased, and the bloodline skill Tiger Wing is obtained. Tiger Wing, passive movement speed add 200%. Yang Tian Huang Mao has no need for the above 2 bloodlines. Finally, Shuangguo was assigned the Cunning Rabbit bloodline, and Lanyu was assigned the Winged Tiger bloodline. It is also worth mentioning that the Monster Tiger in the 10th level is a level 200 sacred beast. After Jueyu obtained another Tiger bloodline, he was promoted to an 8-winged demon. 11th level. A flash of white light, Yang Tian and the other 6 people and Suan Wu came to a huge grassland. There are many black barbarian bulls on the grassland, named Zhou, which is a level 200 sacred beast. The boss is a huge barbarian bull with angry red skin. The guardian of the 12 zodiac signs angry bull, divine beast. Level 200. HP, 10 trillion. Basic combat power, 1 billion. Maximum combat power, 1 trillion. Skills, Savage Charge, Horn Charge, Trampling. Bloodline skills, Rage. Background introduction. In ancient times, a participant in the 12 zodiac signs race, during the race, it did not know that the rat was riding on it, and was eventually robbed of the first place by the rat. It was furious and turned into an angry bull. Mu the angry bull has well-developed limbs, a simple mind, and is extremely impulsive and irritable. When it discovered that Yang Tian and others had invaded, it shook the ground with its 4 feet and suddenly rushed towards Yang Tian and others. Many ugly bulls also ran wildly behind it. For a while, a group of wild bulls ran across the grassland, and smoke and dust rose. Roar! Suinwi roared, summoning the phantom of the divine turtle to spread 100 yards, covering Yang Tian and others, and bearing the damage of the wild bulls. Both sides fought each other. During this time, the angry bull activated the blood skill of anger, making the already bright red fur on its body even more red like fire, and its power soared. Now it is even more powerful than the golden dragon and the blue dragon in the state of dragon transformation. Unfortunately, the black tortoise is also very strong, and it cannot cause much damage to the black tortoise. Just as the barbaric bulls were causing damage to the black tortoise, Yang Tian and the other 6 also focused their fire on them at the same time, instantly killing many ugly bulls and continuing to cause damage to the angry bull. 50 seconds passed. The black tortoise lost 15% of its blood, and the angry bull lost 40% of its blood. Obviously, the angry bull has shown signs of defeat. If it were other beasts, they would have escaped long ago. But Raging Bull is simply the embodiment of impulse, as if he doesn't even know what running away means. And precisely because of its bloody battle, the situation quietly reversed. You know, Suinwiu's turtle protection can only last for 1 minute at most, and now only the last 10 seconds are left. After 10 seconds, if the angry bull does not die, then the trouble will be big. Although the angry bull still couldn't defeat Suinwiu, without the protection of the turtle guardian, the Yang Tian 6 would be in great danger. With this thought, Yang Tian could no longer hold back, and turned on the dragon transformation to instantly increase his combat power, causing the angry bull's health bar to drop rapidly. Transformation into a divine dragon? How is that possible? A person can only have one bloodline. Hasn't Brother Shui already switched to the evil-suppressing Stone Lion bloodline? He has used the evil-suppressing magic circle before. In the team channel, everyone was frantically discussing the screen. The dark affinity of the Lich King's bloodline is passive, and Yang Tian uses it all the time. The power of the White Tiger's bloodline to shock the mountains and forests has been unleashed before Yang Tian, and it is still continuing. However, these two bloodline skills are both hidden. When Yang Tian uses them, his body surface will not change in any way. But now that Yang Tian has turned into a divine dragon and transformed into a dragon human form, his appearance has changed drastically, and he can no longer hide it. I thought Brother Shui had replaced the divine dragon bloodline with the evil-suppressing Stone Lion bloodline. I was too naive. It turned out that it was not a change, but that he could have two bloodlines. Shui was shocked, put her offensive on hold, and quickly took out her notebook to report the matter. Focus on recording. Afterwards, she had a proud smile on her face, as if she had seen her brother's praising smile. Unexpectedly, after 1 day with the group, not only would I be promoted to an 8-winged demon, but I would also discover an incredible secret. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 586. Dark Sea of Fire. Darkness is coming. At this time, Yang Tian's fighting power surged, and in just a few seconds, he beat the angry bull to a low health. Seeing this, Yang Tian, Xiao Fei and others consciously stopped. Huang Mao rushed forward and hit the angry bull with a series of combos. However, at this moment, Suinwiu's divine turtle protection continued to end, and the divine turtle phantom disappeared at the same time. Yang Tian and the other 6 were all exposed, especially Huang Mao, who was in front of the angry bull. And Huang Mao's last set of combos did not calculate the damage accurately. Although the angry bull had only a little blood left, he still failed to kill the angry bull. The angry bull quickly reacted, and a horn hit Huang Mao and flew out, drawing a beautiful arc in the air, and fell to the ground as a corpse. Yang Tian, Xiao Fei and others looked at Huang Mao's motionless body, their faces full of black lines. "Oh, don't joke, this is the last moment, what are you doing?" Obviously, Huang Mao wanted to be promoted to the human king, and it would only make sense if he killed this beast with his own hands. Huang Mao was dead now, and there was no priest alive in the team, which was very embarrassing. After killing Huang Mao in one move, the color of the angry bull's body faded, and it knelt on all fours, collapsed on the ground, and gasped for breath. Yang Tian was stunned. In his opinion, the attributes of this angry bull were not as good as the golden dragon and the azure dragon, but the angry bull in the angry state was stronger than the golden dragon and the azure dragon in the divine dragon state. This means that anger is stronger than divine dragon, but the flaws are also greater. Anger can only last for 1 minute, and then it will fall into a weak state. "Kitty, kitty, come in after you exit and help me revive." Just when Yang Tian, Xiao Fei and others were embarrassed and didn't know how to end it, Huang Mao suddenly typed words in the team channel, which was very eye-catching. "Why, Blue Cat refused." Yang Tian and Xiao Fei looked at each other and smiled bitterly. This girl obviously doesn't know that Huang Mao is the protagonist of this dungeon trip. This Zodiac Paradise dungeon can obviously accommodate multiple people and multiple teams to challenge at the same time. Now, the team has not cleared the dungeon. Huang Mao quits the dungeon, and the challenge is deemed to have failed, and he quits the team by default. He enters again in his own name, and finally he defeats the final boss, and he alone gets the extra reward for the first kill dungeon. All the others don't get any reward, but it is also considered a clearance, and there is no punishment. And if Lan Mao quits and enters again, she will also challenge in her own name. In the end, Huang Mao will definitely defeat the final boss, and because of the team relationship, the whole group will get the reward for the first kill dungeon. Only Lan Mao has no reward. On one hand, the whole group loses the reward, and on the other hand, Lan Mao alone loses the reward. Which is more important, it will be clear immediately. In the team, it is obvious that there is more than one priest in the team who can use the resurrection spell, and Huang Mao also asks her because he thinks he has a good relationship with her. Of course, Lan Mao refused outright because she didn't know the key. Her refusal was just a normal reaction. Alas, Huang Mao typed again. Yang Tian could even imagine his sighing and despair. "Mao, my master must have his intentions, just help me. Don't worry, I will accompany you, and I don't want any rewards." A message from Xuanggro was displayed in the team channel. Then there was another team system prompt: the player Xuanggro has left the team. Wow, this girl is really Huang Mao. I warn you, if you don't marry her within 3 years, I will kill you. After the Blue Cat typed the last message in the team channel, he immediately left the team. For a while, the team channel suddenly calmed down, and no one dared to swipe the screen anymore, and the atmosphere suddenly became stiff. Yang Tian, Xiao Filong, and the other 6 old men all shook their heads and sighed. That Xuanggro girl, a typical iceberg goddess, even if you get familiar with her, she will be very polite, giving people a feeling that it is difficult to get close to her. I don't know what the advantages of the yellow-haired boy are. Xuanggro is only full of good feelings for him and is passionate. However, Huang Mao still missed Ziyan in his heart, and rejected Xuangro's feelings countless times, and even said that the two of them were impossible. But Xuanggro still chased Huang Mao all the way, but Huang Mao was thinking about Ziyan, both of them were like moths to a flame. This makes people sigh that love is so full of magic, no matter how hurt or painful it is still flocking to it. And outsiders are not convenient to intervene in such matters. Even if Yang Tian and Huang Mao have a close relationship that they can wear the same pants, it is not easy to say much. people are willing to be abused, you have no right to interfere. At this time, the angry bull fell into a weak state, and only a trace of blood was left. Yang Tian was afraid that the dark sea of fire would slowly burn it to death, so he could only disperse the dark sea of fire. Not long after, the angry bull was able to withdraw from the attack state, and the blood and blue were restored at a frequency of 10% per second. After only 10 seconds, it was fully restored. Seeing this, Yang Tian sent Suanwu to attack it. At this time, it was still weak, and even Suanwu could easily kill it. Suanwu would fight for a while, stop for a while, and humiliate him in various ways, unintentionally exploding hatred. 5 minutes later, the angry bull finally recovered from his weakness and stood up again, staring at Suanwu with blazing eyes. Obviously, it had not forgotten Suanwu's humiliation of it for 5 minutes. At this time, the angry bull seemed to only see Suanwu in his eyes. He ignored everyone and began to attack Suanwu frantically. Yang Tian and his 6 companions were also happy to be idle, so they just stood there and watched the show. The 6 companions of Yang Tian were only hurt by the shock wave caused by the attack of the angry bull, and they were not seriously injured. The angry bull obviously couldn't kill Suanwu. After working hard for a minute, Suanwu lost less than 5% of his health. Suanwu's life revived and replenished his life again. His disdainful and calm eyes made the angry bull furious. Time passed by, and the blue cat Zhuanggro finally arrived. The blue cat resurrected Huangmao with the resurrection spell. Afterwards, Suanwu activated the black turtle guardian, and everyone focused their fire and attacked again, and the angry bull was beaten to a low health again. Having suffered a loss once, Huangmao didn't dare to be careless this time. He activated the dragon transformation and summoned the green dragon to trigger the Dragon Knight's talent dragon riding, raising his combat power to the peak. A set of combos finally killed the angry bull with a little blood. Huangmao won the first kill of the angry bull and received a generous first kill reward. The angry bull ended up in disgrace, and also exploded its own bloodline. Angry bull bloodline, Xiaoguang/consumable after use, the attributes are greatly improved, and the bloodline skill anger is obtained. Anger, instant, all attributes of the self are at 150%, lasting for 1 minute, then weakened for 5 minutes, and cooled for 10 minutes. This anger is indeed stronger than the dragon transformation, but the duration is shorter. It is really hard to say who is stronger and who is weaker overall. In short, Yang Tian already has the bloodline of the dragon, and has no need for this angry bull bloodline. In the end, it was assigned to Haoshan of the second team. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 587. The Last Hurdle. Still following the same pattern, Huangmao finally took the first kill of the boss Huishu. The announcement sounded, and everyone in the group received varying degrees of additional rewards. Of course, the frosty blue cat was not in the team, so there was no reward. Wisdom Rat Bloodline, Xiaoguang/consumable after use, the attributes are greatly improved, and the bloodline skill intelligence is obtained. Intelligence, passive upper limit of intelligence at 30%. The bloodline of the Huisu is also very average. Although for legal professions, increasing intelligence is equivalent to increasing combat power. But compared to other powerful mythical beast bloodlines, the 30% increase in intelligence of this Wisdom Rat bloodline is really very small. Not only was Yang Tian not in need, there was also no need for several members of the second team. Everyone, thank you very much. Huangmao thanked everyone. Where is it? Everyone waved their hands, but in fact they were not too polite. After all, Huangmao probably monopolized at least 90% of the profits from this dungeon trip. This was due to Yu Yangtian, Xiaofei, Qin Yu, and others giving up the first kill, so it was reasonable to accept a word of thanks. After Yang Tian led the team to withdraw from the dungeon, he began to distribute many bloodlines to the members of the second team. Xuanggro gets the blood of Cunning Rabbit. Haoshan obtained the bloodline of Raging Bull. Lan Yu gets the blood of the Winged Tiger. Xiaofeng gets the Scud bloodline. Nan Bassian got the blood of a Loyal Dog. Among the second team, only the Blue Cat Huowu failed to gain anything. Of course, they both already have god-level bloodlines, but they are just not suitable and not very powerful, and they still need to be replaced. When handing over the blood of Raging Bull to Haoshan, Yang Tian couldn't help but give a reminder, warning the latter to use it with caution. After all, anger is more dangerous than dragon transformation, so of course it doesn't matter in the game. However, in the future, the Zerg invades the Earth and the end of the world breaks out. If Haoshan uses his anger to deal with the Zerg, he will be weak and exhausted in a minute. If he does not have strong comrades around him, he will almost die. Regarding the Zerg, Yang Tian couldn't say much for the time being. He just hoped that Haoshan would develop a good habit in the game and regard anger as his last trump card. Don't use it lightly unless it is absolutely necessary. After all, he didn't want any of these friends who had been together for several years to die on the battlefield in the Doomsday era. After the group was disbanded, everyone left and moved freely. The girl Zhuyu also went back to hand over the task with a happy face. Qin Yu chased after him for half a step, smiled bitterly, and finally stayed. Today is different from the past. Now he is an 8-winged angel and can be regarded as one of the super strong people in the entire server. As his strength skyrocketed, his role in the team also skyrocketed. Those 3 powerful elemental shields alone were an indispensable and important means. It is said that with greater ability comes greater responsibility. This is inevitable. Because of this, he did not dare to leave the group at will like before. After a while, only 6 people, Yang Tian, Huangmao Xiaofei, Qin Yulong, and Liu Langling, were left in this ancient desert. We have killed 23 mythical beasts, and there are still 77 left to go, Huangmao said. No, there are already 24. Yang Tian glanced at him. Is there any? Huangmao was startled. You forgot about the evil suppressing stone lion. Yang Tian rolled his eyes. Everyone looked at Huangmao speechlessly. What are you doing? No one remembers his own affairs clearly, brother Shui. Let's go to the world ocean and see my coordinates. After Yang Tian finished speaking, a white light flashed. The next moment, Yang Tian had arrived at the teleportation array on a certain island in the world ocean. And this teleportation array is obviously the Water Alliance teleportation array, one of the teleportation arrays that Yang Tianlongliu deployed in the world ocean some time ago. Naturally, the 6 Yang Tians had already formed a group. According to the team coordinates, Huangmao and others were quickly teleported to Yang Tian. Subsequently, through the search device, the 6 Yang Tian people once again launched an operation to search for and kill the divine beasts. Of course, Yang Tian and the other 5 would deliberately give up the last blow to all the divine beasts to Huangmao, so that he could kill hundreds of divine beasts as soon as possible, be filled with the blood of the divine beasts, and be promoted to the human king as soon as possible. 3 days passed in a flash. That night, with the help of Yang Tian and others as well as Suan Wu, Huangmao successfully slaughtered another mythical beast. At this time, he had slaughtered 39 divine beasts, and he was not too far away from the realm of human king. In the past 3 days, Yang Tian and others used the search device to look for the nearest red dot. And before they knew it, they were already quite close to the Japanese war zone. That night, it was a dark rainy night. It is summer now, and the summer rain is quite violent and continuous. Yang Tian went out in a short-sleeved shirt, and soon he was soaked in the rain. He used late-night snacks as an excuse to ask Huangmao and others for leave, but in fact he was doing something urgent for Lu Yan. A few months ago, Yang Tian and Lu Yan came back from a mission. Yang Tian was a wild man, but Lu Yan was half of the top leaders of the alliance. She brought back a lot of important information to the alliance, allowing the Alliance to understand the world, or rather the universe. Some know more. The 10-domain division of the universe and the many intelligences in the insect domain caused an uproar in the Alliance. The world government, the top leaders of the Alliance, and many awakened people finally understood. It turns out that there is not just one insect star, but billions of them. There are only 10 domains in the universe, but the Zerg are so powerful that they actually designate one of them as the insect domain, which is terrifying. It's so terrifying that it makes countless awakened people doubt their lives. Lu Yan mentioned before that many awakened people in the Alliance have fled the Alliance and spread to various parts of the world. You can say that they are afraid of death. But in fact, that is a normal reaction of a person. After all, Lu Yan, who is strong, broke down and cried after learning the horrible fact from the Hat Star Ike, let alone others. But no matter what, as an awakener, you must be prepared to pay the corresponding price if you escape from the Alliance. On the Earth today, any awakener is as powerful as Superman. Once such a person is freed from control and gains freedom, it will not necessarily cause chaos, but the probability of causing chaos is extremely high. In particular, there are not just 1 or 2 awakeners who escaped, but many. For this reason, the Alliance naturally has to respond accordingly. Now, all the awakeners who escaped have been included in the Alliance's blacklist. Among them, the blacklist that has already carried human lives is even included in the blacklist. Moreover, the Alliance has sent many awakener teams to various parts of the world to capture blacklist members, and even kill blacklist members. This is the so-called infinite casualty indicator. The reason why Lu Yan asked Yang Tian for help this time was because a group of blacklist members appeared in China. She hoped that Yang Tian and the local awakening team on business trips would work together to capture or kill the blacklist members. In fact, Lu Yan had contacted Yang Tian more than once or twice recently, and many times hoped that Yang Tian would help capture the blacklist members. After all, he knew that Yang Tian was powerful and far more powerful and reliable than those awakening teams on business trips. If Yang Tian took action, he would definitely reduce the losses of the Alliance in the battle. But Yang Tian refused many times because he had no position. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 588. In fact, to a certain extent, Yang Tian is no different from the blacklist members. They are all awakened, they all have freedom, and they all have the potential to cause unrest. The only difference is that the Alliance doesn't know Yang Tian's identity yet. It is already troublesome for the Alliance to manage many awakened ones, and now that things are even more troubled, it is even more impossible to pay attention to Yang Tian, a guy who is lurking among hundreds of millions of ordinary players. After all, the Alliance holds the information of all Taixu players, and Yang Tian's information clearly says, not awakened. Because of this, Yang Tian lives a better life than those on the blacklist. No one troubles him. He can even pretend to be a member of the Alliance and trouble others. But Yang Tian thinks that there is nothing wrong with himself and the blacklist members. He himself didn't want to reveal his identity. And those blacklist members just couldn't withstand the pressure and didn't want to face horrific things like Zerg and the end of the world. They did not commit any crime or kill anyone. Instead, they lived a low-key and contented life. What's wrong with this? Why should Yang Tian arrest them? He has no position at all. If he really wants to arrest him, Yang Tian will have to arrest himself first. Of course, the Alliance is not wrong either. The Alliance has a big picture view, takes different stances, and has its own ideas. Because no matter what, the blacklists have powers that ordinary people don't have, and they are indeed more likely to go astray than ordinary people. Yang Tian also understood this. After all, he could only take care of himself, but he couldn't take care of those blacklisted members. The blacklists don't want to be under pressure anymore, they want to be free and live one more year at a time. Facing a formidable enemy that may be impossible to resist, it is good to have the courage to face it, but there is also nothing wrong with being cowardly. The Alliance is afraid that they will commit crimes or reveal important secrets, so they want to arrest them and reintroduce them. From Yang Tian's point of view, everyone has his own reasons and his own position. Therefore, he could not take sides. Even if Lu Yan requested, he would still refuse. Likewise, if he sees a member of the Alliance arresting Blacklist, no matter what method is used, as long as no one is killed, he will pretend not to see it. But this time, the situation is a little bit special. Not a Blacklist member, but a Blacklist member. The so-called Blacklist members are trash who bully the weak, kill innocent people indiscriminately, and take human lives on their backs. Faced with that kind of garbage, Yang Tian didn't need to consider any position issues and just killed him without mercy. Even without Lu Yan's request, if he discovered it himself, he would kill him. The blacklist is only one step away from the blacklist. If you make the wrong step, you will step into the abyss and be unable to extricate yourself. But if you didn't make a mistake, you didn't make a mistake. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake. Yang Tian shook his head and sighed. This was his position. Under the black rain, Yang Tian stretched out his hand to wipe the rain off his face, and then took out a small thing like a Bluetooth headset from his pants pocket. This little thing is the latest communicator developed by the Alliance. Within a certain range, it can be connected and paired with other communicators of the same model. Up to 10 communicators can be paired to form a discussion group. Because it is the latest research and development of the Alliance, it is only equipped for Alliance members, and is not available for Blacklist and Blacklist members. As for Yang Tian, he obviously got it from Lu Yan. To be precise, Lu Yan should have forced it to him. This gadget will be popular among all people in another year. Looking at the small black communicator in his hand, Yang Tian smiled slightly. In 1 year plus 2 months, Tegzu will stop serving and the whole people will wake up. The Alliance developed this communicator to facilitate the awakened people. It is inevitable that it will be popularized in 1 year, just like in the previous life. That's right, Yang Tian had already used this thing in his previous life, and the version was much more advanced than now. The current communicator is only the initial version, based on the principle of proximity and random pairing. A year later, there will be a search function that allows selective matching. Of course, for now, there are still very few people who own this kind of communicator. Even if it is randomly paired nearby, it is more convenient. Lu Yan said that those blacklist members are operating in the city below me. Yang Tian smiled solemnly. Blacklist, after the blacklist members escaped from the Alliance, they were distributed around the world. It exists in every country and every city. The Alliance has sent many awakened ones, and in every city in China alone, there will be at least one Alliance team in charge. The city where Yang Tian is located is not too big, and there is probably an Alliance team in charge. The configuration of an Alliance team is 5 awakened ones. At this time, Yang Tian had opened the communicator and hung it on his right ear. This communicator, in terms of appearance and structure, was not much different from ordinary Bluetooth headsets. After a while, the sound wave of the communicator connection sounded in Yang Tian's ears, followed by a voice prompt that 5 communicators had been connected and paired. Of course, what these 5 communicators represent are naturally the 5 awakened ones in charge of the city. Great God, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Immediately afterwards, several slightly excited voices came from Yang Tian's ears. From the accent, Yang Tian knew that they were all Chinese. They seemed to have known that Yang Tian would come. No, to be precise, it should be that they knew that a strong person would come. There is not just one blacklist in the city, but a group of them. Naturally, they dare not act rashly. After all, reality is different from the game. If they fail, they will really fail. So they contacted the headquarters immediately and asked the headquarters to send strong people to help. Afterwards, the alliance headquarters contacted Lu Yan to follow up, and then Yang Tian appeared. Why did the alliance ask Lu Yan to follow up on this matter? Because Lu Yan, as a half-senior in the alliance, is also Chinese. If she was not responsible for this matter, how could she ask Yang Tian for help? Coordinates, let's meet up first, Yang Tianyi said in a simple and shocking way. At this time, if he released his divine sense to search, he could naturally find the specific coordinates of the 5 people, or even directly search for the specific coordinates of the blacklist trash. After all, even if the awakened person hides his breath is much stronger than that of ordinary people. Moreover, as Yang Tian's strength continues to grow, his divine sense search range will naturally become larger, and covering a city should be no problem at all. But if that happens, those blacklist members will know of Yang Tian's existence and will alarm the enemy. Because of this, the role of the communicator at this time is revealed. It's a dark rainy night, it's really a beautiful day. Yang Tian flew up to the sky and looked around. The vision was dim and there were few pedestrians. For him, this was a night of indulgence. He didn't need to hide his weakness anymore. He just spread his fighting spirit wings and flew at a constant speed. At this time, his flying speed was very fast, but not so fast that his clothes would burn. Of course, he did this deliberately so that he could suppress his breath. After all, if he flew at full speed, he would not be able to suppress his breath. In this way, even if those blacklist members happened to release their spiritual sense to search and found him, they would not be able to distinguish his specific strength. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 589. An hour later, the heavy rain continued. Yang Tian came to the rooftop of a building in the city center and joined the 5 people. Above the dim sky, thunder rumbled, and occasionally lightning broke through the air, and the white electric current split like willows, instantly illuminating the entire world like daylight, although only for a moment. In such weather, people naturally took shelter indoors, and it was even more difficult to know that Yang Tian and the other 6 people were standing on the top of the building. Hello, great God. Seeing that Yang Tian arrived smoothly, the 5 people hurriedly greeted him respectfully. Respecting the strong seemed to be human instinct. Yang Tian had not shown his strength yet, and the 5 people could not see Yang Tian's depth at all. But since the superiors had appointed Yang Tian to help, it was enough to prove that Yang Tian's strength and status were higher than theirs. Little did they know that Yang Tian was just a savage. Among the 5 people, 4 were men and 1 was women, and they were all Chinese. Obviously, even the alliance was following the current trend and was well aware of the truth that men and women working together are not tired. Because they were on a business trip, the 5 people acted low-key and did not wear the conspicuous alliance uniforms. They were all in plain clothes. It was pouring rain, and the 5 people had already been soaked like drowned rats, but they were not affected at all. They stood straight and looked dignified. After all, every member of the Awakener Alliance is an elite recruited by the Alliance from all over the world. There are almost no mediocre people among them, and each of them is quite extraordinary. However, Yang Tian is more extraordinary than them. Along the way, Yang Tian has experienced too much, and his aura is far beyond that of ordinary people. His words and deeds will inadvertently reveal his admirable domineering aura, which makes people dare not underestimate him. My name is Yang. Yang Tian nodded lightly and gave a very brief self-introduction. Tell me about the situation. Yang Tian's eyes swept to the leader, who was a young man in his 20s with dark skin. He might be a soldier. He had a very good figure, his back was straight like a javelin, his eyebrows were sword-like, and his eyes were firm. Brother Yang, you can just call me Hisa. According to our investigation, there are 13 members of the blacklist in the city, and they are a gang. Now that group of people is in the building under our feet. This building is actually a high-end club that provides various services and has a good business. However, with the cooperation of the local police, we have dispersed the ordinary people as much as possible, Hisa said continuously. Some words are self-evident. The members of the blacklist are all awakened people who bear human lives. They are much more terrifying than ordinary criminals. The police are just secular forces. What can they do in the face of so many blacklist members? The police can do their best to cooperate with the Alliance to block this club and prevent tourists from entering. They have already done the limit within their capabilities. But there are still many operators and waiters in this club. These people fall into the hands of the blacklist members, and they are living hostages. As for ordinary people, the team sent by the Alliance will also have certain casualties indicators, that is, the Alliance team can kill some hostages when there is no other way. Where there is light in the world, there will be darkness. This is an inevitable phenomenon. The Alliance believes that for the sake of the final light, it is inevitable to cross the line a little. After all, sometimes, you can't deal with extreme criminals without extreme methods. In the eyes of the world government and the Alliance, if a few people are sacrificed, a member of the blacklist can be killed, which is equivalent to protecting the lives and safety of more people. So they think it is worth it, so they will give the Alliance team some casualty indicators for ordinary people. People have different positions, different views, and sometimes it is difficult to distinguish right from wrong. Hezi and others are all military backgrounds, and they will obviously follow the views of the Alliance unconditionally. Yang Tian, however, dare not agree. In his opinion, you, the awakened, may not be nobler than ordinary people. You, the awakened, have power to protect ordinary people, not to kill ordinary people. Moreover, the lives of 10,000 people are important, and the lives of 1 or 2 people are equally important. It is impossible to sacrifice the lives of 1 or 2 people because of the lives of 10,000 people. Yang Tian can't do this. Therefore, no matter what the situation is, Yang Tian will not kill any hostage himself, and will try his best to protect the safety of the hostages. Since ancient times, kings who can achieve hegemony must be cold-blooded and ruthless. Compared with the king, Yang Tian's views and opinions are quite naive. Yang Tian's character still has certain limitations. He can never become a real ruler and a king by himself. Unless there are people with dark personalities around him to assist him. But Yang Tian can't stand that kind of people, and it is almost impossible to become friends with that kind of people, so no matter how talented and qualified Yang Tian is, he is destined to have no chance to be a king in his life. Of course, he has a free and easy personality and is not interested in this. Don't ask for the top of 10,000 people, just ask not to be inferior to others. Brother Yang, now that you come to help, we can set off now. But before that, please forgive me for being presumptuous, Brother Yang. How strong are you? Heza said cautiously. The eyes of the other 4 people also turned to Yang Tian at this time. Obviously, they were not sure whether Yang Tian's strength was enough to kill the blacklist members. After all, this was not a trivial matter. If there was a slight mistake, someone would be sacrificed, or even the whole army would be wiped out. God-level Yang Tian said lightly. Of course, he had not yet become a god, but his strength was enough to beat ordinary god-level strongmen. He said this just to give Hezi and others a reassurance. Sure enough, after hearing Yang Tian's answer, Hezi and others looked at each other and felt extremely excited. You know, there are not many god-level strongmen in the Alliance now. They didn't expect that they would have the honor to witness the demeanor of god-level strongmen during a business trip. Let's go. Yang Tian waved his hand. Hezi and others had already worshipped Yang Tian to the extreme at this time, and naturally followed his lead. So, Yang Tian and the other 6 people all swooped down from the rooftop, tore open the seal, walked into the building, and climbed up 1 floor at a time. the luxurious box in the center of the 18th floor of the building. Inside, 13 large beds were lined up in a row, and a man was lying on each large bed. At the same time, there were some pretty women who pinched their shoulders and backs to loosen their muscles. In addition, there were many girls in front who were performing songs and dances or making tea and pouring water. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 590. The 13 shirtless men were all members of the Blacklist. The leader, codenamed Menhu, had the blood of a tiger and was a god-level warrior. The other 12, although all Saint King warriors and strong, were all led by him. About a week ago, they came to the city and enjoyed themselves in this club. Because they had no money, they were turned away by the boss and manager. In anger, they killed people and occupied the club. The police rushed to the scene, blocked the information, and drove away the crowd. At the same time, the senior police officers reported to Hiza, who put Menhu and others on the blacklist. Although Hiza did not know the strength of the other party, he did not dare to act rashly because the other party was outnumbered. He waited on the rooftop of the building day and night, and contacted the headquarters to send more people. Menhu and others had just occupied the club when the club was blocked by the police and forced to close. Although they did not care, they knew that their identities had been exposed. In addition, the Black Squad had been guarding the rooftop for several days and nights, and Menhu and others occasionally released their spiritual sense, so they naturally discovered the Black Squad. However, they were unmoved. Hee, brother Hu, those 5 bastards are really patient. They have been guarding the rooftop for several days and nights, but they don't have the courage to deal with us, a subordinate laughed. Hee, those who wear shoes are afraid of those who are barefoot. Those alliance lackeys look great and righteous, but in fact they are all cowards who are greedy for life and afraid of death. Menhu sat up and hugged the beautiful woman next to him in his arms. While touching her, the beautiful woman in his arms snorted proudly, and said, "They dare not take action against us, they must be gathering helpers." Helpers? Brother Hu, with your strength, it's useless for them to gather more helpers. Unless there is a god-level strongman who comes in person, but who has time to take care of us, a god-level strongman. Several subordinates flattered him and laughed. Alliance. God-level master. Unfamiliar words, many girls in the room were confused, and felt that the background of Menhu and others was terrible, so they served more diligently, fearing that they would be killed if they neglected these uncles. They saw with their own eyes the scene of Menhu and others killing people. Now, surviving is their biggest wish. Well, but we have been here for a week, which is long enough. Tomorrow we will set off to find the next place, Menhu said cautiously. Alas, brother Hu, in the past few months, our footprints have spread across several countries. It's too boring to flee every day, one of the subordinates complained. Nonsense, if you are not afraid of death, you can stay here and settle down, Menhu said angrily. He knew that once he took a life, he would be listed on the blacklist of the Alliance. Now, they can't turn back. It's not brother Hu, I mean, when will this end? The subordinate laughed. It's useless to think so much. You all know the horror of the alien Zerg. The alien Zerg will invade the Earth at any time, and the doomsday will break out at any time. Just live as long as you can and enjoy it as much as you can. Tiger cursed. In Tiger's view, humans have no future. Are you kidding? There are billions of Zerg planets in the Zerg domain, so how many Zerg are there? How many Zerg strongmen are there? In front of the Zerg tide, humans, even awakened ones, are like ants and will be extinct. In this case, why should he work for the Alliance? Work for the Earth and for humans. My own life cannot be guaranteed. Alas, many men sighed. They have the same idea as Tiger, otherwise, how could they go down this road of no return? This road is obviously not easy to walk, although there are occasional times of enjoyment, they are always worried about being hunted down by the Alliance. They are tense all day and can't enjoy themselves at all. Ah, brother Tiger, he, you. At this time, several men found that Menhu had done foreplay with the beauty in his arms, and was about to pick up his gun and mount his horse to gallop. As the boss, Menhu naturally occupied the most beautiful woman here, and her beauty was coveted. Sweeping the beauty in Menhu's arms greedily, several men felt hot in their hearts, and quickly pulled the women around them, ready to have a shot. As the saying goes, one shot can solve 1,000 worries. Brother Tiger. Those guys on the rooftop have entered our building. Just when Menhu and his men were about to take action, one of the rather cautious men suddenly shouted loudly. This startled Menhu and others, and they had not yet taken out their weapons, but they had already handed them over. This once again shows how scared they were in their hearts and how tense their nerves were when they took this road. How many people? Menhu's face turned blue, and a layer of fine sweat instantly covered his face. 6 people, said the men. What? Menhu lost his composure instantly, and the divine power in his body moved, causing the beauty in his arms to groan, close her beautiful eyes, and bleed from her rosy mouth. A living beauty, so easily lost her beauty. There is a huge gap between the god-level strong and ordinary people. As long as the divine power is slightly shaken out, it can easily kill ordinary people. Of course, this was Menhu's mistake, it was Menhu's loss of composure. At that moment, his emotions were too excited, which caused the divine power to overflow from his body. Of course he was excited. The 5 members of the Hisa team guarded the rooftop for several days and nights, and did not dare to act rashly. Menhu knew that they were at most Saint King strong men, and he naturally would not take them seriously. Now, if there were dozens or even hundreds of people rushing up, he would not lose his composure like this. But with 6 people, he lost his composure. The 5 members of the black team did not dare to act rashly. If one more person dared to come up, the extra person would most likely be a god-level powerhouse. Menhu himself is also a god-level powerhouse. In theory, he may not lose when facing other god-level powerhouses. But he is afraid of death, too afraid of death, so he lost his composure like this. Ah! Seeing Menhu kill one person easily, all the women in the room screamed in fear, gathered together in an instant, and huddled in a corner and trembled. What alliance, what god-level powerhouse? What doomsday, what alien Zerg? They didn't understand anything, they only knew that now was their doomsday. Don't make a noise, or you will all die. Menhu's eyes were red and he roared. The women were instantly silent, stopped crying, and just sobbed softly. The next moment, Menhu and the others summoned their natal weapons and equipment, their eyes solemn and alert. For the awakened, the weapons and equipment in the game Taegzu are integrated with the body, and can be worn with the thought. They are called natal weapons and natal equipment. In the corner, the women looked at this magical scene and were very surprised. They felt that Menhu and the others were extraordinary, but it was a pity that Menhu and the others would not be gentle with women.